Josh, I wanted to check in because last time you were on, we talked a long time about your family and that situation and everything, the drugs, the betrayal and all that.
God.
Has anything new come of that? Are you still in the kind of the clean break, not clean break, but the break portion of it?
They've tried to reach out a few times, but I'm pretty much unresponsive.
Can you refresh the listener's memory? Like just a quick.
Sure. So when I started doing YouTube, I was trying to help my parents out because they lost their house. My parents lost their jobs. And so I brought them to Utah where I live and floated them until they got back on their feet. It turned out they never got back on their feet and they decided to start doing drugs. I mean, I make it sound kind of bad, but like, how do I phrase this here? It didn't go as we planned at all. And drugs were involved and they started lying to me and stealing from me and pawning my stuff and so on. And I didn't want to believe it at first. You'd never in a million years would you think that your parents doing that. And I guess looking back, of course, I can see, that's pretty obvious now. But in the moment, I have the flu today. I'm sick, whatever, right? Like I need some money. I was like, okay. But then eventually I had to cut them off. And well, I refused to pay their rent. And my grandparents cut me off and said, never talk to us again. And that just basically no contact with the family. So since then, it's been like maybe 2 years or something so far. And they've reached out a few times, but of course, I've had this conversation with myself a few times how I would handle it, but it never goes the way I think whenever I get like a text or an email, because of course their numbers are blocked, but they just make new ones or whatever. So my sister has a kid now, apparently. That's interesting.
Is that your problem now?
No, I don't think so. I just part of me is just like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Like, why did this? I mean, I hope it goes well, but like,
I know it's going through your head right now. I mean, I hope it goes well, but
I don't know.
It's not looking
I doubt it.
That's not where the smart money is.
I don't know.
Is this sister also struggling with drugs?
tough
You mentioned the
situation.
parents, but
that was the actual cause. It was my sister was like involved with some bad dudes, and then that spread, I believe, to my parents, and then they were all doing it. So
has there been any attempt at like reconciliation from their end at all, or are you not even hoping for that anymore?
They've tried, but it's very like it's like nothing's changed. They'll say things like, well, my dad sent me some emails like a few weeks ago, and I haven't said anything about it or anything, but it was just like, well, if you don't talk to me, I guess I'll have to live with it. And it's like, what? Are you guilting me with like an apology sort of thing? It's just a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Or like,
manipulative.
I'm sorry about then, but this is now type stuff is what they've said. That was then, this is now, just manipulative stuff. Yeah. And of course, there's like a part of me that wants to share like life achievements with my parents, like look what I did, look what I've, and that goes through my mind every time they reach out. Like, would it be different if I responded? But then no, not really.
What is the drug? Which drug is it?
Heroin, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm just wondering. I'm like, maybe it's just pot, and Josh is a bit of a square.
No.
Great turn of events. It's like I go over there, Woody, Doritos everywhere.
Garbage, untaken out, dishes in the sink, Kyle.
I cut them off.
Woody, they were watching. They were watching Cheech and Chong. I don't know how many times they've seen it, Woody. They're like zombies. They're not my parents anymore. I'd be like, shit, man, maybe you should smoke with them. But no, it's heroin.
You just walked into their apartment and they were there, boneless, like those old commercials, soaking into the couch. Remember those weed commercials? Like, I used to like hanging out with Sarah until she started getting high, and then it was just her on the couch.
Dude, I love those
Sarah's having a dope time right now. Give her
those
a break.
Commercials made me think that weed must be so fucking crazy because it was like you would put a baby in the microwave on weed. What? It's like I don't think I'd do that. You remember that one, right?
Really hungry.
It's not the microwave; it's the oven, actually. But I think the deal is like the babysitter's getting stoned while the mother's away, and she's like doing a bunch of stuff while she's stoned, and she's supposed to put the turkey in the oven and the baby in its crib. And I think at one point, like she wakes up and hears the smoke alarm going off, and she looks in the crib and the turkey's in there. Because that's a different commercial.
This is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, I remember the deflated person just out.
Yeah.
I didn't
They
see
let
these
off
commercials.
strong.
None of these
Friend's
ring
hot.
a bell for me. But what I did see was Nancy Grace on Fox News. She was always banging the drum about how pot made you murderous. It made you want to kill people. And every time a murderer also had like a fucking roach in his ashtray, I maybe use that right.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the cause. Here it is. He went into a murderous rampage because of the marijuana.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
I've
well, what
always
was he
hoped
doing
something
before he
bad
got
would happen
high?
there.
And it's like, well, he was a rapist, but and it's like okay, I think we narrowed it down. So with your family, I guess last time you were on it was like a year ago, so it's been like twice as long.
Mhm.
Has it been like, I know last time you spoke about your girlfriend and how like her father, like you had a great relationship with him. Have you kind of started to feel like kind of shifting families almost, like you have another support system network, hopefully?
I would say it's like 100%. I've just leaned over now, but it wasn't very easy at all. There was a lot of me like, can I trust them? Can I trust them? Do I really
I'm
know
sure.
them? But he met me like 3 times, and he was like, yeah, y'all can come live in my basement if you want to get out of the city while you do something else to figure it out. Like, that to me is pretty open human. Like, he had no real reason to do that other than me being
This is
with
your
his daughter.
girlfriend's dad.
Yeah.
Standard on. If I'm being honest, like that's standard. That's what decent people do.
Yeah,
He's supposed to offer that. Yeah, that's decent people type shit. What you need,
decent.
what you
people.
need is like an arbiter of decency to like hang out with you and be. And when somebody's like offers you some gum, you be like, can you believe that guy offered me gum? What should I do to thank him? Like, dude, you should just keep walking and chew that shit.
It sounds funny. But there's been a learning curve for me realizing what is normal now. Like people being nice or people being nice to get something. Like it's easier for me to see the difference. Whereas before I couldn't. I mean, to put it simply, I guess I was just pretty gullible. Like I try to see the best, give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And that I think they instantly know that if they're that type of person. And then, I don't know, they take advantage. But it's been a lot of me. I don't know. For a while, I just trusted no one, no matter what. Like everyone's at a distance, and now it's like, okay, this feels all right. But I would say like they're basically my family at this point. Like we all the holidays together. We go on trips.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
pretty
good for
wholesome.
you.
I'm glad I have this ending to tell, I guess. But
no, yeah, it's
fantastic.
good that you get to see like the other side of it, because you had kind of a warped sense of what family and those relationships are about.
I mean,
like that's.
But there's like a little bit of like maybe resentment for having just now finding out that it didn't have to be that way, and for other people it wasn't that way. And so like I have to remind myself like it's not too late. You can just enjoy it now. But like I look back at my childhood and I'm just like, wait, other people didn't do this, and
I can't imagine my father lying to me. Like that's such a crazy thing that he would like I can't imagine like if there was any money between us, him trying to like get away with not giving me my money back. Like that is such a foreign, like you might as well like say it's like someone who was molested by their father, man. Like, what your dad doesn't, fill you up a little every morning? Like, no, dude, he doesn't ever. What the fuck? That is not a daddy thing.
Yeah,
it's probably the most.
It's just as alien.
Like, probably the most memorable times where I didn't know he was lying at the time, but looking back, he came to one of my pilot lessons when I was getting my PPL, and he rolled up in the parking lot. He had like this little, I don't know, like a scarf on. He was covering his face. He cracked the window. He's like, come over here. Because he was going to come right along with me just to hang out father-son time. But then he's like, I got COVID. I'm sick. I need money. I got to go to the doctor. That wasn't true. And I told him.
Oh, no.
And it turned out that was a lie.
Now he's gone. Well, we'll have to remind him where he was. I think I remembered. I think he told that when he was on.
I can't remember the amount of
dad
the
lied
amount of
about
money.
Yeah.
The amount of money that we were talking about too is like tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Don't forget, like that whole. We got to get off that story. You're gonna depress me. I know. I know. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's such a sad, fucking, shitty story.
It's awful. Well, it seems like it's going better for him, so that's a good thing.
There we go.
Hey.
Sorry, I hit the refresh button on my browser, and yeah, my bad. I did hear what you were saying, Kyle. So we'll move on to the next topic. That's fine.
I don't think it's a bad topic. I just feel bad making you go over it again. It's so rough, man.
No, it's been a learning experience. So I've learned to like kind of put the emotional side away, but there was that where he pretended to have COVID and had like an actual emotional breakdown in the public parking lot, and my instructor's there, and I gave him the money and he left. And there was another time he's like, "Hey, I need 80 cash. Here's my check. I get paid tomorrow. You can cash it then." I was like, "Okay, here's the cash. I'll cash your check and you've paid me back." But he knew that check was going to bounce. Like things like that, that you only realize now it was premeditated and just manipulative. That makes you go,
Yeah. It's unbelievably shitty to knowingly use your influence over someone that way to take from them, leveraging your kind of emotional influence on them.
I would never do that to my kids. Like I don't have kids, but I can't imagine ever stealing from them or lying to them.
Or makes it worse, right? Like, and if something bad happens to you when you're out and about, that sucks. Yeah. If someone breaks into your living room and does it, now your home, your safe space has been violated and it doesn't feel safe anymore. This is your parents, right? If someone's a dick to you, and you met him online and you just trusted the wrong guy and whatever, like that sucks. But when your mom and dad do it, that that wasn't supposed to come from them.
Well,
they're supposed to be on your side.
They know how I tick. They know all the things that would stress me out or push me over the edge or whatever. And so it's just,
You probably already found with YouTube fame how so many people who just entered your life want to use you in some way. Like, ooh, do you have this many subs? You know, I've got a message I'd like to get out there. I'm doing a Kickstarter for my next trip. Can you tell everyone about it? Or whatever.
How many? I'm sure you get tons of emails from people that have great business ideas. Does that happen to you often? Because it happens to me. Lots of startup ideas.
You're overestimating how much email I read.
Fair. Well, have you, there's going to be a diamond in the rough in there somewhere. You got to keep reading all those business suggestion emails. Steal the good one.
It's like, hey, you and me can like do this and you build it and then chill it on your channel and like, I'll manage it. Just like, well, okay. All right. I do everything.
Yeah. It's like Mr. Beast Burger, but it's my channel. And it's like, you're not Mr. Beast. Like, what are you going to do?